Hello everyone. Today we have with us Rajaram. He was my friend from college, but before that also like almost 10, 12 years ago, we had first met as in the entrepreneurship class. And today he's here with us to share with us his intro experience with Gojek. Previously, he had shared his intro experience with Smart Drive or Omnitracks also. So yeah, hi Rajaram.
Hi Shashank, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good as well.
So yeah, we can start with the intro experience and some FAQs and discuss about the perks and benefits and how the onboarding experience with Gojek was.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I first applied to on the career site. It's actually not Gojek, but it's a fintech subsidiary of that in the GoTo group. So it's
Mm-hmm.
called GoTo Financial,
Mm-hmm.
and it's similar like Paytm and PhonePe we have here. It's similar
Mm-hmm.
to that, but mainly it operates in Indonesia and Southeast Asian countries.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was interested in that domain and I applied there. I had heard that they were very active on open source and they value open source contributions very highly.
Mm-hmm.
So apart from that, I prepared a little bit and I just applied. So almost a month later, I got an email that I was shortlisted for the first round. They
Mm-hmm.
had looked at my resume, and in the coding round, it was on Hacker Rank,
Mm-hmm.
and so I got an invitation for that, and that test was for 75 minutes. It
Mm-hmm.
contained around 7 questions. So five coding were there. Around four of them were easy to medium level, and one was hard level, and one was an API based, and one was SQL joins based questions.
Mm-hmm.
So SQL joins and API based was not very tough. So
Mm-hmm.
if you just know the basics, you will be able to do it.
Like
But
REST API or they use
yeah,
gRPC, I think.
REST
Okay,
API.
okay. But they use gRPC also, is it internally
Yeah, yeah.
or only REST
They
API?
use
Okay. Okay.
They use both, but mainly
Mm.
gRPC. But the question was on REST API.
Interview was REST API, yeah.
So in that test, I was able to solve four coding questions and the API question and the SQL question. So and I didn't get time to even attempt the last one. Almost a month after the coding test, I got the reply that
Mm-hmm.
I got through, and they shared an interview preparation guide. So that guide was very helpful since the interview process itself was nothing like other companies. So it
Mm-hmm.
was very unique, and like it had one machine coding round, one take home assignment, one machine coding round, and a tech interview round, and then hiring manager round.
Mm-hmm.
So after the first round, basically, I almost had no purely DSA based questions.
Mm-hmm.
So it was completely system design based.
Mm-hmm.
So the first round was a solo coding round where they gave a take home assignment. Since I
Mm-hmm.
was interviewing for their fintech division, I was given a bank related task. So
Mm-hmm.
I was given the requirements and asked to design a system for that.
Mm-hmm.
So some people got 2 days for that, as I looked it up on the internet, but they had mentioned that I was given only 1 day.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my machine coding or pair programming interview round the very next day. They
Mm-hmm.
believe a lot in pair programming, so even their interview round has pair programming.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, the machine coding round was an extension of the take-home assignment itself, where they what approach I took and what decisions I took to design the system, like some trade-offs or whatever that, or in a particular way I use the design the modules. So they ask questions like why this, why not this, and
Mm-hmm.
mainly based on design principles like solid principles and design patterns. So they questioned the design, like if it was adhering to that, or uh,
Mm-hmm.
like basically they wanted to know how you approach the system as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, they you need to only to justify that,
Mm-hmm.
do whatever length you can. And after that, they also gave additional requirements and asked me to code
Mm-hmm.
with them on the call itself. So that was part of the pair programming.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, a couple of days later, I got a call that the HR mentioned that I'll be progressing to the next round. The next round was a technical interview with an architect slash tech lead level person. So they asked me to choose any one of my projects and explain it to them. So, like to share the screen and like I went to some site like draw.io and you need to like draw the architecture of the system and just explain end to end what happens. So I explained one of my projects that I was a part of in Smart Drive. So and since it was a very complex project on distributed systems and it was a cloud native project and it had multiple modules. So uh, the interviewer went drilled down into each and every module and sub module. So like they even questioned the decisions that they took or we took as part of the development team to design in a particular way. And for instance, I can recall like we used Cassandra as the database over there, and in that Cassandra database configuration, the consistency was this, and why not this? Something like that they asked. So at that level of depth, the knowledge they were testing. So this round especially was very exhausting for me since for every module they drill down all the way until a point where I went blank and I didn't know what to say. I just said, I don't know, I'm not sure. So for each and every module like this, they'll drill down all the way until I said, I don't know.
Okay.
And then they were like, okay, let's move on. So basically, what I got from that is that they were judging principles like object-oriented programming, idiomatic code, test-driven development, usage of version control, coding practices, conventions, everything. And I was confident about my machine coding round, but I was sure that I won't make it in the second tech round because, and as I said, every question ended with like every thread ended with I don't know. So yeah, after around a week later, I got a reply that okay, there was still HR round. So in that HR round as well, they discussed the salary, and then they just said that this is the budget we have and this is the package that we can afford and we are giving it to you. And yeah, basically other questions like it was still just barely out of the pandemic, out of the lockdown, and they were opening up the offices. But yeah, they said immediately after the interview, after I completed my notice period in Smart Drive. So when I joined, there was a 2-month long boot camp. So I had to go to Bangalore for that. So even that was discussed in the HR round. So yeah.
So like as I said, system design was very heavily emphasized, right? So usually
Yes.
we have low level design and high level design, right? And high level design is something once people get more than 1 to 3 year experience, then they ask more and more. So for your interview, I think you were not almost 1 year experience by the time you
Yeah.
appeared, right? Is it? Yeah. So how
Yes.
much of the system design was low level and how much did they ask high level part?
Yeah. So in the first round, it was more towards like low level design because it was hands on and they discussed more on object oriented programming, solid principles, test driven development, version control. These are all yeah. So that was more low level design focused, and the second round was like more like black box high level design.
Okay. And you said they also emphasize on open source, right? So, how
Yeah.
much do you think relevant previous experience played a role, or in your shortlisting or get clearing through the interviews?
So yeah, work experience definitely adds to the credibility,
Mm,
and they value open source because they themselves are a very huge open source contributor.
mm,
And if you are not experienced, it doesn't uh, matter, because if you have open source experience, like
mm,
uh, maybe contributing in like Hacktoberfest or something.
mm,
I had done that the year before, so that
mm,
also added to my
mm,
profile.
mm,
So they just want to see that you can manage a huge system. Like
mm,
uh, open source systems are usually pretty big, and
mm,
uh, they have a large code base. So
mm.
if you can manage that and like do your task, so
Yeah,
that can help judge. Yeah.
yeah. So, and how much importance they give to the programming language, like whatever they use, like in interview also they prefer that, or any language is fine.
Correct. So they actually prefer Java and Golang,
Mm,
but they didn't specify anything during the interviews. So I
mm,
had done my assignment in Python,
mm,
and since the demanded like object-oriented design, so
mm,
the language I choose had to be object-oriented. It had to support
mm,
OOPS. So I had to. That is the one thing they're looking for, like your
mm.
concepts in OOPS, strength, fundamentals. So
Okay.
as long as that is there, I don't think language matters
Mm.
much.
Yeah. Do you have any suggestions for the candidates just before the interview, like 1 week or 1 day is left?
Um, uh, like I can for the online round, I would say practice competitive programming and DSA, because that is one thing which you cannot avoid.
Mm,
That is always going to be there.
mm,
Other than that, like these interview guides would be very helpful to know
mm,
what exactly you can expect during the interviews.
mm,
If not, I would just suggest be very thorough with your resume
mm,
and what you're mentioning in the resume, and about your one or two projects.
mm.
Like end to end, you should know what happens, everything.
During interview, what kind of suggestions you have related to mindset or being prepared for anything?
One learning that I got was, it is okay if you say you don't know about something. So maybe the interviewer will give you a hint or something,
Mm,
or they will just move on to the next topic. So
mm,
you don't have to get overwhelmed or start thinking. It is better to say I don't know rather than wasting the time of the interviewer.
mm.
So yeah, that is one learning I can get.
Right. So usually they keep drilling you until you get to see up to what extent you know, and you say like, okay, this is my extent of knowledge. It doesn't mean
Correct.
like they rejected you because you couldn't answer everything they asked. Still,
Correct.
there is a chance based on what you answered, and it's a relative performance. They have to usually hire some number of people out of all the applicants, and relatively whoever is good, top few people they will take.
Correct. Sure. And for the level of role that they are hiring, they kind of know that they can't expect you to be completely pro in
Mm,
the interview itself. So
mm.
they need you to be have the right attitude to like learn. So that's
Right, right. So if the fundamentals are strong, like they will anyway train as you
yeah.
join what they require on more.
Correct.
Yeah. So can you discuss more on your how was your onboarding experience? Currently it's work from home, right? Like how it went
Yeah.
and what are some perks and benefits of Gojek?
Yeah. So onboarding it was very flawless, smooth. So I got my laptop delivered to my home, and uh, it the onboarding, there were few webinars which I had to attend, and then a few accesses that I had to get. And
Mm-hmm.
basically, onboarding was a long process since there was a boot camp, 2 month long boot camp.
Mhm.
So that bootcamp had like two parts: core engineering bootcamp and DevOps bootcamp.
Mhm.
So there were different types of concepts discussed there, and it was a very refreshing experience for me,
Mhm.
especially after working like more than 1 year in previous company.
Mhm.
So that was a very refreshing experience. After that, we were assigned to our teams, and the team onboarding was another different task that I had to go through. Like it was a different paradigm itself for me, like Flutter and Android mobile development. It
Mhm.
was so I spent some time learning on that, and then the some tasks I had to do before joining the team, and yeah, basically that was it. And work from home is kind of uh, tough with pair programming and all, what they like prefer, but
Mhm.
they also have some things figured out
Mhm.
for the work from home setup.
Mhm.
So yeah, it is going on. Yeah.
Okay. And what is the scope of learning and growth within Gojek as per your knowledge? Like, do they encourage internal team switch, or if you want to switch in the tech
Right.
stack that you're working on?
They do like help you grow in whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
So basically, I wanted to try out mobile for once, and since I
Mhm.
had done backend development before,
Mhm.
so I wanted to try mobile, and they let me go with, since their app was the one of the main things.
Mhm.
So yeah, so they did give me a chance to go to mobile itself, and
Mhm.
they did facilitate my learning experience. Like I
Mhm.
took a little more time than others to learn
Mhm.
um, the tech stack itself.
Mhm.
So yeah, they were very supportive, and people there as well very helpful to
Mhm.
uh, learn.
Nice. So yeah, I think that's all we had planned for this session. Yeah, thank you, Rajaram, for being with us.
Thank you, sir.